What makes this place extraordinary is the feeling of standing before a world that followed its own path for millions of years. When Madagascar separated from the supercontinent Gondwana, evolution began writing a story there that was almost entirely independent from the rest of Earth. The result is a collection of wildlife and plant life that seems to belong to an exclusive chapter of nature. Madagascar has one of the highest rates of endemism on the planet. A large portion of the animals and plants found on the island simply do not exist anywhere else. By the end of this video, we will introduce you to some of Madagascar's most incredible, rare, and fascinating creatures. Among all of the island's natural symbols, none is more iconic than the Baobab trees. These giant trees dominate the landscape with trunks that can reach several yards in diameter. In some regions, especially along the famous Avenue of the Baobabs, they resemble monumental pillars erected by a forgotten civilization. There is something almost surreal about these giants. Their trunks store enormous amounts of water to survive long periods of drought. During certain times of the year, they shed their leaves and take on an appearance that inspired an ancient local legend, that the gods planted the trees upside down, leaving their roots pointing toward the sky. But the trees are not the only stars of the island. Madagascar's wildlife is even more unique. Before meeting these remarkable inhabitants, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. We release new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, and you will always be among the first to be notified whenever a new episode is released. The first sound a visitor hears in the forest does not come from the wind or from insects. It comes from high in the trees, cutting through the jungle like an ancient siren. It is the call of the Indri, Madagascar's largest living lemur. Its song is unlike that of any other animal on the island. Long, haunting, and powerful, it travels for miles through the forest, connecting groups separated by valleys and vegetation-covered mountains. There is something deeply human about the way the Indri vocalizes. These calls are performed as family duets, usually between mated pairs and their offspring. When they echo through the humid forest, they transform the landscape into something resembling a natural cathedral. Physically, the Indri is equally impressive. With long legs, a sturdy body, and fur patterned in black and white, it appears perfectly designed for life in the treetops. Its leaps seem to defy logic. From one trunk to another, it crosses gaps measuring several yards with almost unbelievable precision. Unlike many smaller and more discreet lemurs, the Indri never goes unnoticed. Its mere presence dominates the environment. The people of Madagascar have lived alongside stories about the Indri for centuries. In many regions, it is surrounded by traditional beliefs that associate it with ancestors and the spiritual world. These legends have helped protect the species in some communities, creating a relationship of respect that goes far beyond simple wildlife observation. But modern reality has brought challenges that no song can overcome alone. The forests that sustain the Indri are gradually disappearing due to deforestation. Every acre lost means less food, less living space, and fewer opportunities for future generations to thrive. Meet Madagascar's top terrestrial predator, the fossa. Although it resembles a cat, it is actually more closely related to mongooses. Some animals dominate their environment through strength, others through speed. The fossa achieves this through an almost perfect combination of both. Considered Madagascar's primary land predator, it moves among trunks and branches with remarkable confidence. Its long, muscular and flexible body seems specifically designed to pursue prey in a land where most inhabitants live above the ground. At first glance, the fossa defies easy classification. In some movements, it resembles a cat, in certain traits a mongoose, and in its posture even a small cougar. This unusual appearance is the result of millions of years of isolated evolution. On an island, separated from the rest of the world, the fossa developed its own specialized abilities to occupy a role that, on other continents, would be filled by large carnivores. With no direct competitors, it became a highly specialized hunter. The hunt itself reveals the reason behind its reputation. The fossa can climb, descend, and even change direction in tall trees with astonishing agility. Its ankles possess an unusual range of motion, allowing movements that very few mammals can perform. When it decides to pursue a lemur, the distance between predator and prey can disappear in a matter of seconds. Every leap is calculated, every foothold is precise. There is no wasted energy. There is only efficiency, refined through countless generations. Before we meet our next attraction, answer this question. Would you like to visit places like Madagascar in person? Let us know in the comments. Among Madagascar's countless inhabitants, few seem as unlikely as the panther chameleon. At times, it looks like a living jewel resting on a branch. At others, it resembles a creature pulled straight from imagination. Shades of electric blue, vivid red, emerald green, and brilliant yellow can appear across its body in combinations so striking that they seem to challenge nature's own rules. Each individual carries unique patterns, making this species one of the most colorful on Earth. Interestingly, these colors do not exist simply to impress observers. They are part of a sophisticated visual language used to display mood, defend territory, and attract mates. In different regions of the island, individuals display distinct appearances. Some are predominantly blue, while others feature reddish bands or bright orange markings. This diversity helps explain why Madagascar has become the world's greatest refuge for chameleons, hosting more than half of all species known to science. But the panther chameleon's true brilliance goes far beyond appearance. Its eyes move independently, allowing it to monitor different directions at the same time. While one eye watches what is happening above, the other tracks movement near the vegetation. This ability provides an extraordinary awareness of its surroundings. When prey enters its field of view, both eyes quickly focus on the same target. Moments later, its tongue launches at remarkable speed, capturing insects in a fraction of a second. There is something fascinating about the way this reptile occupies its niche. It does not rely on strength, speed, or size to survive. Its strategy is built on patience. Often, it remains motionless for long periods, moving forward only gradually until it blends completely into its surroundings. This ability to turn waiting into an advantage makes it a true master of stealth. The ring-tailed lemur has become the great ambassador of Madagascar. Its appearance is so distinctive that a single glance is enough to recognize it. Yet its true uniqueness lies not in what we see from a distance, but in the way it organizes life within a surprisingly sophisticated society. Unlike many of its relatives that prefer to remain high among the branches, this species spends much of its time on the ground. That choice completely changes its daily routine and the way it interacts with its environment. At sunrise, entire groups can often be seen gathered beneath the morning sun. They frequently adopt a curious posture, sitting on their hind legs while stretching their arms toward the warmth. It is an almost theatrical scene, as if they are absorbing every ray before beginning another day of travel, feeding, and social interaction. What fascinates me most is the complexity of the relationships within these communities. These are not merely groups of animals sharing the same space. There are alliances, conflicts, displays of affection, and clearly defined hierarchies. Females hold authority over males and often lead the most important decisions. Younger individuals learn by watching adults, repeating behaviors that ensure the continuity of the group. Every encounter, gesture, and interaction carries meaning that may not be immediately obvious to a casual observer. Their famous tail plays an essential role in this social dynamic. As they move across open terrain or travel through rocky formations and spiny vegetation, it functions like a visible flag that can be seen from a distance. Group members can easily track one another's movements, maintaining cohesion even when the landscape becomes more challenging. The tail also assists with balance during leaps and rapid movements, providing stability whenever precision is required. There are moments when it serves an even more fascinating purpose. During territorial disputes, males engage in behaviors known as stink fights. They rub scent secretions onto their tails and then wave them toward a rival. Physical contact is rarely necessary. In many cases, the exchange of signals alone is enough to determine which individual holds greater influence at that moment. From a distance, the pale fur of Verreaux's Sifaka contrasts sharply with the dry landscapes of southern Madagascar, making it easy to identify. But nothing prepares an observer for the moment it descends from the trees and begins crossing open ground. The movement is so unusual that it seems almost otherworldly at first glance. Instead of walking like most mammals, it travels through a series of sideways hops. Its body remains upright, while its powerful hind legs propel it in a sequence of quick and elegant leaps. The result is an image that has become famous around the world. Every crossing resembles a carefully rehearsed dance, as if the animal were performing choreographed steps across the sand and between shrubs. It is a brilliant solution for an anatomy primarily adapted to life high above the ground. When among trunks and branches, the Sifaka reveals its true specialty. Its long legs function like natural springs, allowing it to move impressively between distant points. Some leaps cover several yards in a single bound. The precision is extraordinary. Even before touching its next landing point, it already seems to know exactly where it will arrive. This ability transforms fragmented habitats into accessible pathways and allows the animal to explore vast areas in search of food. What makes it even more remarkable is that this almost playful appearance conceals a life filled with challenges. The climate in the regions inhabited by Verreaux's Sifaka can be harsh, with long periods of drought and limited resources. Even so, It manages to thrive through a combination of physical adaptations and strong social behavior. The radiated tortoise immediately draws attention because of the striking patterns on its shell. Yellow lines radiate outward from the center of each dark scute, forming designs that resemble rays of sunlight, carefully drawn by hand. Few creatures combine simplicity and beauty in such a remarkable way. Every shell is unique. Although the pattern follows the same basic structure, subtle variations transform each individual into a one-of-a-kind creation shaped by nature itself. At first glance, it appears delicate, but that appearance hides a story of resilience. The radiated tortoise inhabits regions where vegetation is sparse and environmental conditions can be extremely demanding. Over thousands of years, it has developed strategies that allow it to survive in landscapes where abundance is never guaranteed. Its pace of life stands in sharp contrast to the speed of the modern world. While other animals rely on quick reactions and constant movement, it advances slowly, exploring its surroundings with almost complete calm. This slowness is not a sign of weakness. Quite the opposite. It reflects a lifestyle built upon efficiency and energy conservation. Throughout the seasons, it feeds on leaves, fruits, and plants adapted to dry conditions. Every movement seems carefully calculated to make the most of the available resources. There is something fascinating about its ability to thrive without haste, as though the species has discovered a completely different relationship with time. Its ornate shell captures attention, but its evolutionary journey is what truly impresses. For countless generations, it has remained connected to this unique landscape, becoming an inseparable part of Madagascar's natural identity. On an island famous for extraordinary creatures, the radiated tortoise holds a special place, not because of speed or strength, but because of the quiet elegance of an animal that transformed its own body into one of the most beautiful geometric expressions found in nature. Deep within the darkness of Madagascar's forests, the appearance of the ii draws attention in an almost unsettling way. Its large eyes reflect even the smallest beam of light, its ears seem permanently alert, and its shaggy fur gives it an appearance that has fueled legends for generations. For a long time, local communities viewed this creature with suspicion, associating its presence with omens and stories passed down through the centuries. But spending only a few minutes observing it is enough to realize that its true nature is far more fascinating than any superstition. Above all else, the ii is a master problem solver. Its body combines adaptations rarely found together in a single primate. Among them, one feature stands out immediately: an extremely thin and elongated middle finger. At first glance, it appears disproportionate, almost too strange to be useful. Yet it is precisely this characteristic that has transformed the ii into one of the island's most specialized hunters. When night falls over the forest, it begins a quiet and methodical routine. Moving carefully along branches, it repeatedly taps on wood with its fingers. Each tap produces a different vibration. The animal listens closely and interprets these sounds like a specialist analyzing invisible signals. When it detects tunnels carved by larvae beneath the bark, it uses its powerful teeth to create a small opening. It then inserts its narrow finger into the cavity and extracts the hidden prey. The technique is so unusual that it resembles the work of a specialized tool more than the behavior of a mammal. What impresses most about the ii is the way it challenges expectations. Many species attract attention through beauty, strength, or graceful movement. The II follows a different path. Its uniqueness lies in its ingenuity. Every detail of its anatomy appears to be the result of a long sequence of evolutionary solutions to highly specific challenges. Now let's talk about one of the most incredible landscapes found in this remarkable place, Isalo National Park. As the scenery unfolds, enormous sandstone formations rise on the horizon like natural walls sculpted by time itself. Deep canyons, towering rock formations, and winding valleys create a landscape so unusual that at times it feels as though you are walking through a world completely separate from the rest of the island. What amazes visitors today began taking shape long before the existence of humankind. Wind, rain, and changing climatic conditions slowly worked upon the rocks, creating formations that resemble fortresses, monuments, and gigantic sculptures. Among these stone structures, unexpected environments emerge. Small streams flow through narrow gorges, nourishing patches of greenery hidden within the arid landscape. Palm trees cluster around crystal-clear natural pools, creating refuges that contrast sharply with the surrounding dryness. It feels like discovering an oasis concealed within a vast mineral labyrinth. Light constantly transforms Isalo. During the early morning hours, the rock walls display soft tones, while sunset covers everything in intense colors ranging from gold and orange to deep red. Every change in the sky completely alters the appearance of the landscape. Shadows advance across the canyons, revealing features that had remained invisible only moments before. The scenery never looks exactly the same. This quality ensures that every hike reveals new details, even to those who have traveled the same trails countless times. But Isalo is far more than an impressive collection of geological formations. The park supports a rich diversity of life that has found ingenious ways to thrive under challenging conditions. There is a constant relationship between stone, water, and life, creating a delicate balance that defines the identity of this extraordinary place. Some landscapes seem designed to welcome life. Others appear to challenge the very possibility of existence. Chingi de Bemaraha National Park belongs firmly to the second category. Standing before its limestone formations, one gets the impression of gazing upon a petrified ocean made up of thousands of stone blades pointing toward the sky. The structures are so sharp and numerous that from a distance they resemble a forest composed entirely of giant needles. The word Tsingi itself carries a revealing meaning. In local languages, it can be interpreted as a place where one cannot walk barefoot. The intimidating appearance of this territory emerged through an extraordinarily slow geological process. Ancient limestone deposits were gradually eroded by water over millions of years. The result was the creation of deep fissures, narrow corridors, and razor-sharp pinnacles that transformed the region into one of the most unusual landscapes on Earth. Exploring this environment requires constant attention. In many areas, suspended bridges connect rocky formations separated by narrow chasms. In others, winding passageways disappear between towering vertical walls that seem endless. The experience feels like exploring a natural city built by invisible forces over unimaginable ages. Every turn reveals new shapes, new contours, and new perspectives, there are no gentle lines here. Everything is defined by angles, cuts, and surfaces that showcase the immense power of erosion. Most surprising of all, life has managed to flourish even under such extreme conditions. Plants adapted to harsh environments emerge from nearly inaccessible cracks. Birds find shelter within protected cavities, and countless species live in isolation within small sections of this vast mineral maze. This isolation has encouraged the evolution of unique forms of life, making Chinguy de Bemaraha not only a geological wonder, but also one of Madagascar's most important biological sanctuaries.